What an incredible day. The weather, the vibes in here are incredible. I'm glad you all could come. Good morning. My name is Bob Gordon, and I'm a very grateful member of this community. Please take your seats, which you have more than usual. You're all seated. That's terrific. Turn off your cell phones all the way off, please. And take this opportunity to greet your neighbor for a few seconds. All right. Welcome to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. We honor you wherever you are on your spiritual path and know that there is something wonderful for each and every one of you this morning. Gratitude is a wonderful thing, and I have this poem which was written by Nicole Grace, who is a Buddhist mystic who lectures around the country. And it has to do with gratitude. It has to do with the word or the phrase, thank you. Thank you is a perfect, simple prayer. Saying it, thinking it, you acknowledge that someone helped you. You don't have all the answers or solutions. You aren't alone. Thank you means you have noticed a contribution, an offering to your life, to your happiness. Thank you is a mantra. Say it as often as you can. Humility is the most gracious response to life's many precious gifts. The words to our morning chant will be on the screen, followed by the words of our beloved spiritual mind, beloved Reverend Carol Huntley, who will give a spiritual mind treatment to take each of us deeply into our own centers.
All right, let's all stand up. Greet the day. Just take a little deep breath, a stretch. We are rising up. The stone has rolled away. We are rising up. It's a brand new day, and I feel joy in my soul. We are rising up. The stone has rolled away. We are rising up. It's a brand new day, and I feel joy in my soul. We are rising up. The stone has rolled away. We are rising up. It's a brand new day, and I feel joy in my soul. And I feel joy in my soul. And I feel joy in my soul. In my
Happy Easter, everybody. I'm Carol Huntley.
with a little. It's a good thing to post in prayer. So we all know that she gets her. Yes. And now's the time when we bless our children off to teach their teachers. So it's time for you to go back to your classrooms and be with your teachers and tell them the truth and teach them the truth. Thank you. And we are so blessed with the band today, and that glorious golden voice at the top at the end of the song is Suzanne Baldwin. So let's, yeah. I was supposed to do that after the prayer, but I couldn't help it. We are just so blessed with all of you showing up in this space and everyone who came together to create this magnificent celebration. And so I invite you into your center to go within. As I remember, recognize that all there is God. One life, one presence, unconditional love pouring itself through all of creation. I am one of it, one in it, one with it, as is everyone within the sound of my voice and beyond. Each one of us is the beloved place where God shows up. Each one of us has all of creation at our back, at our center, inside, surrounding us. All of it is available to us. So right here, right now, I claim for each one that opening to open, to allow this Easter celebration that celebrates this resurrection, however we want to experience it, whether it's as a rebirth, as a recommitment, as a reawakening, as a new experience of allowing the greatest within us to pour forth as us. I invite each one of us to open our ears, open our hearts, open our souls to the gifts available today in this service. The new ideas, the new possibilities, the newness, the freshness. And I give thanks knowing that so much more is available to us than we have ever experienced up till now. And so I give thanks for that expanded awareness, that expanded opening to possibility as I release this word to the law, knowing that it can do nothing but bring this word pressed down, overflowing. It is done. So I let it be. And so it is. Blessed be. And so please open your hearts, your ears, your bodies to the gift of Suzanne Baldwin and the band.
Wow. How's everybody doing? Are we here? I am here. Sir Ricky Byers Beckwith's tomb.
There is a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite. One love, there can only be God's love. No, yes, I know that I walk. Oh, yes, I walk in the love a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite. One love, there can only be God's love. Oh, I walk, oh yes, I walk in the love of God. I walk in the love of God. Yes, I walk in the love of God. Oh, yeah.
Suzanne Baldwin.
So, good morning, everyone. You know, I went to bed last night and I got up this morning so excited about seeing all of you that I don't normally see. And I want you to just feel the love that with anticipation, I'm looking at these faces that I'm so glad to see. And I'm so glad to see those of you that I see every single week and in between too. So happy Easter, and I am so, so glad that we are celebrating this together. So in order to bring some of you up to speed with our theme for the year, we are doing a real Ernest Holmes year. We are looking at that essay that Ernest Holmes wrote, that's our founder, What We Believe. And we have divided that into 12 statements. And each month we are looking at a statement as sort of the stimulus for the messages. Over here is the whole essay in its 12 parts. So this month is April, of course, and this is the part that we are talking about, and how appropriate that it's the Easter month. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. So our theme, our word for the whole month is heaven. So we've already established that heaven is a state of being. The word that we use is consciousness. But you could even say it's a mood. It's a mood that is so intensely filled with well-being that there are no words for it. And it is an experience that we can expect on a regular basis, right here, right now. It's not after we give up the body or anything like that. It is an energy, it's a vibration that is sacred, holy, joyful, peaceful, abundant, beautiful, creative, inspiring, healthy, free, and all of those other qualities that when we feel them all together, which when we have that intense well-being, we can say, yeah, all of those are mine right now. And that's the heavenly experience. So of course, we want this intensely at Easter time because if you live in this country, you can't avoid the energy of Easter, no matter if you believe in the Christian message or not, or sort of believe in the Christian message, whatever your relationship with that is. Easter is this time of renewal and rebirth and regeneration and transformation. We want heaven, we want it right now. And I remember Easter services when I was young. I went to the Catalina Methodist Church in Tucson, Arizona, and I was in the junior high school choir and then the high school choir. And Easter, actually, it was a lot like the energy that we just had, only it was organ music, very, very loud, and 3 choirs on every one of the services, and hordes of people, and a sermon about eternal life and forgiveness of sin. And everybody was just so happy to hear that. And so what I want to say about the message of where you are, the metaphysical message of science of mind, is that that's the message every day and more. That we are immortal right now. We don't have to do anything. We are not only forgiven, we are never condemned. There is no possibility that our Creator could stand against us. We are in right relationship with our source as far as the source goes. That's all we get from God is love. And we are the beloved of the infinite presence. There is no death ever, no matter what you do or don't do or believe or not believe, you're here. You're somewhere. You're immortal. Right now, you don't have to do anything for that. And so that's normal, everyday, thrilling existence for us. That's it. So that's the Easter message, so now you have it. And, and actually, Lewis Thomas in his book, Lives of a Cell, says, life is such a miracle that all of us should be in just a constant dazzlement of surprise. I love that, just like, wow, all the time. And so I wanted this Easter to be as much over the top as my Methodist Easter was for me then with the Easter message. And so I looked inside a lot for what I wanted to share with you. And actually, it's in the message that was already sung, that the power and the presence is everywhere. But I'm going to say it, of course, in a kind of a different way. I'm not going to launch into that song with my throat like this ever. I don't have the instrument that Suzanne has. But what I want to share with you is this glorious system that we are in that has great joy and love and connection and light and heaven all the time. And I'm going to use the words of the teacher that we celebrate today. And I'm going to use the words that he probably actually spoke in the original Aramaic, which is so inspirational. And for those of you that are here all the time, we've got some experience with Aramaic, a little tiny bit. But for the rest of you, Aramaic is still spoken. But in the biblical times, it was the language of Jesus. And it was so potent that every single sound had a meaning. Every word had many meanings. There were levels and shadings and varieties of words. And so in a language like ours that we want to be so specific that we have lots and lots and lots of words for delicious, say, we can describe a wonderful meal in many, many ways. In Aramaic, one word meant many, 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 many things. So that you would say something, and it wasn't just that there was one meaning that you were transferring, but there was so many meanings. So for example, in English, we have one word for light and one word for darkness. And especially in the spring, we want more light and more light in us and more light in our experience. And we're told that there's light in every cell of our bodies. And in Aramaic, it's so nuanced that there's lots and lots and lots more going on. So in this wonderful, wonderful sunrise image, I want the word Shem to appear. See how magical that is? This is the Aramaic word that is a root word for many other words. And it can mean light, but what I want to talk about first is its meaning in the word heaven. And so that's heaven. It's going to come up right there. That's one of the words of Shem. And it is in the word Shemaiah, which is most often translated into heaven, like in the prayer that Jesus prayed with his disciples, the Lord's Prayer. But it means so much more, and as I'll get to in a moment. This word Shem is also the root of the word name, as in hallowed be thy name. In that instance, it's Shemak. So there is a feeling of light that shines through the name. That's why so many times we hear that expression, in the name of God, in the name of Jesus, in my name. And it's in that energy of Jesus. The word that is most uniformly Shem is vibration, but not just a vibratory, like radiating presence, but it has its place in vibration as light and vibration as sound. So we should have light and sound right here. So, and then also, well, I want to say about the translation for heaven. One of the wonderful translations for the word Shemaiah is light and sound shining everywhere. Now that was a real experience for the people that spoke Aramaic. And I want us to feel into that as much as possible. That this Shem, this vibration, this shining light and sound was everywhere, emanating from the one. And then because everybody has a name, everybody has their individual name light, their Shem, that reflects back into the infinite presence. And so it's back and forth of this vibration of light and sound. And just as the line in the song, the love of God is everywhere. So as we look at this word, especially in its vibration of sound, it's also a root word in the word itself. So word should be up there too. So the title of my talk today is "My Word Shall Not Pass Away." And that is Jesus speaking to his disciples, which I'll talk about a little bit more in depth in a moment. But what it means really is that my vibration with you will be here forever. It will never, ever pass away. So as we look at these words, that all and sort of feel into their similarity, that heaven, that radiating presence, and the name is also a vibrational presence, and then heaven is light and sound shining everywhere, and every word carries its vibration. The word for the day that we're going to hear over and over again is vibration. So that should sort of vibrate a little bit right now. It already vibrated? Okay, fine. Okay. So we're fully into this now. So that's going to stay up there for a while, so you can just kind of melt into it. But I want to read from this book that talks about the Aramaic language. What unifies these meanings is the idea of vibration. Everything that vibrates its way into existence as a seemingly separate being carries its own unique Shem. As you may have already anticipated, all individual name-light vibrations return in various ways to the one sacred Shem of the divine, which is beyond human words or names. All vibration is part of the whole vibration of the universe. In fact, one of the words for universe or cosmos, which is Shemaiah, indicates that the divine name-light vibration is in every particle of existence. So that's a way of talking about the Big Bang. Science says the same thing, that we all came out of light, and the light that was the beginning of our universe is in us right now. And this is also very much a part of our teaching. Ernest Holmes writes, "Whatever is true of the universe as a whole must also be true of the individual as some part of this whole. Therefore, the same inherent attributes that we find in the universe from which we spring is in us. A single drop of water is not the whole ocean, but it does contain within itself the same qualities and attributes." And so, this thrilling, to me it's thrilling. It's thrilling to me that we cannot get away from the light of God no matter what. No matter what we believe, no matter how long we pretend that there is darkness in us, it is only a pretense. No matter how long we pretend there is darkness in someone else, it is a lie. And what we experience today, if we let ourselves, is that our shining interpenetrates each other. And I share my shining with you, which is holy. And you share your shining with me, which is holy. And another piece of this wonderful book is so, so true for me about babies. And what it says is, if we unravel this a bit more, we can see the embodied sense behind this concept of name light. When a baby is born, it has its own particular pure atmosphere. The gaze of an infant fills us with a light that seems to come from another world. In many ancient cultures, an infant was often given a name that expressed the particular light, atmosphere, or feeling that she or he brought into existence. Likewise, in Jewish, Islamic, and some Christian contemplative traditions, one may receive a new name, emphasizing a particular quality at a certain point in one's spiritual journey. So, the baby that you were is still in you. That special light that is yours and yours alone. Because each one of us has a particular soul print on this Shem from God that is in us, around us, and through us, and operating as us in the world. We have, I mean, you can tell, if you have a baby in your family and you see their photographs until they are old, some people who see a baby at 1 and then at 50 cannot recognize that this is the same person. But if you have loved that essence throughout those 50 years, it's like, well, you haven't changed a bit. You haven't changed a bit. And so what happens is we all have this vibration, and we're not always feeling it or expressing it all the time. But we can, because the vibration is already there, we can tune it. And it is exactly like the band tunes before it practices or performs. The guitar tunes exactly to the key on the keyboard so that it sounds the same. And it actually shifts the vibration. And we can do the same thing to ourselves. And we do all the time, actually. Whenever we consciously say, I am pissed off and I don't want to be, I want to be in love, and we get ourselves around love and out of that annoyed state, that's exactly what we are doing. We are tuning our vibration. And so we are all these beings of light. And so the good news of today is how this works for us all the time. And actually, the same message comes from every spiritual teacher. But of course, we get to talk about Jesus, who became the Christed one today. So the title of this talk, my words shall not pass away, the whole verse, which appears in all of the, not John, but, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. This is the same verse that appears in all of them. And it goes, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. So this comes in a part of the Bible where Jesus has gotten his disciples around him, and it's before the Seder meal, the Last Supper. And it's actually a part of the Bible where it sounds a little apocalyptic, and it's quoted a lot by some of the wisdom traditions that teach that we have to do something to avoid a very bad end at the end of the world. However, in Aramaic, it is so beautiful to see how this translation of heaven and earth shall pass away. I won't go into the whole word that means earth and all of that, but there is this essence that feels like this vibration vibrates into form, and then it releases the form and goes back to the original Shem, and then it comes forth again like breathing into form, and then it goes back into the original Shem. And so we have this changing thing, and then the vibration of the name of the wise one that's in and through it all. So if we could have this next slide Form, this is one translation of that. Form may pass into light and light into form, but the fullest vibration of my life and purpose will continue forever. So for those of us who love Jesus, that energy when he walked the earth is available to us. All of those teachings in the New Testament that are about peace and forgiveness, that energy that came forth of the vibration of his word to his disciples is available to us right now. And it's the same actually for you, because Jesus said, I'm the same as you, and greater things than these you shall do. And the way we do it is with our vibration and elevating, tuning our vibration to the highest that we possibly can and giving it forth in word and action. And so the vibration that you have with your people continues and will continue after you have left your body, just like the vibration of Jesus is still here after he has left his body. So like the vibration of my mom is still with us. And she was a teacher of many of you here, and I hear that back from you. They say, Doris is right here, right now. Why? Because the vibration that she was so consistently, her essence of that Shem that was Doris Jones still lives and vibrates in this realm. And so that's true of all of your ancestors. This is the North, and we think of the ancestors in the North, and I want you to think that surrounding me are the faces of your loved ones that have come before you and have gone on, and they are smiling at you right now with that vibration that was theirs. And what we do with our ancestors, because we've got some ancestors that, didn't have very high vibrations, we take the best of the best, and we use it. And so as we think of what we're going to do with our vibration for the progeny that comes after us, whether they come from us or not, may it be that we think today about tuning our vibration to a master. So Jesus also said, well, before I get to that, I want to tell you this about free choice. Every religion has a free choice, and it's recommended that you believe it because it'll go better for you if you believe whatever the message is. And for us, it is the same thing. We have a free choice of emulating the vibration, the Shem, the light of a master like Jesus, or we can ignore it. And the thing about ignoring it is that there is support in the world for hatred. There is support in the world for judgment. There is support in the world that the whole model of punishment works. And so there is support in the world for darkening, lowering our vibration so that the vibration comes out is not as loving as it could be. So our free choice is, I have a choice right now and always of tuning my vibration up so that my vibration emulates as much as I can what I believe to be the vibration of a master. So now, Jesus also said in the Bible, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. So I want to read to you there we have that name again, the word name. And it means with my atmosphere, from within my experience, in rhythm with my sound, with my sense of illumination, or with the light of my essence. And so we have this wonderful translation. Wherever 2 or 3 gather in my vibration, then the I am is there in and around them. So, you know, the original Christians, which came a generation and more after Jesus left the planet, the original Christians were said to be known by how well they loved each other, because it was in a time when there was a lot of tribal warfare and all of that. And what they were doing was that they were living in the vibration of the Christed One. They were remembering his words. They were remembering his teachings. They were remembering his admonitions. And they were striving to be like him. And that is what we can do with any master teacher that we own, that we have. Many of us love Jesus. Many of us love Buddha. Many of you might, and me too, I love my first teachers. And I tune my vibration to their vibration as much as I possibly can. So to live in the vibration of a teacher that means a great deal to you is what you want to be doing all the time in order to feel the Shem from the divine indwelling you and commingling with your individual Shem and sending that back into the essence of the one so that you have this breathing with the Almighty Source. This is actually what we do in the practice of visioning. We catch a vibration of a possible future that is loving and peaceful and beautiful and productive. It is what happens when you have a prayer from a practitioner. Every single time you have a prayer, what you are doing is you are invited to tune your vibration to the vibration of the one praying for you. And it is definitely what happens when you have any experience of transformation. There's, you know, that title, what do you do before illumination? You chop wood and carry water. And what do you do after illumination? You chop wood and carry water. Your life may look very, very much the same, but the vibration that you live in and that you exude is absolutely different. And so what we try to do is become a vibrational match with the life we long to live. We become a vibrational match with the life we long to live. And what happens is that heaven is what comes to us. So when we are really high on this energy of Easter, it's relatively easy to think that you are exuding light, and you all are, by the way, you're just glowing. It's when we have real challenges in our life, when we're actually, it feels like we're going to devolve into hatred or judgment. That's when it's really, really important to tune our vibration. And of course, that's when it's the hardest. It's the hardest when we want to just get in there and say how bad somebody is. That's the hardest time to retune our vibration, and it's the most important. And so what I want to say to all of you today really is keep coming back, because what we teach is how to live through difficult times in life and elevate your vibration. I'm almost done, so it's good. You know, can you get me some more water? Thank you. Every week we endeavor to make this very, very practical. And so we have this thing called a takeaway. Takeaway. This is what you tell your friends that you did today. You learned match your expression to that of spiritual masters. I use the word expression instead of vibration because I thought that was a little bit less woo-woo for people out there. So, thank you. So, you actually can be like the spiritual masters. That's what I want you to take away today. and know that this is really what you can do. So, in conclusion, I want to tell kind of quickly the story of the rabbi in the woods, because this is a real story of changing vibration, and many of you have heard it before. There was a monastery in a beautiful wooded area that was on hard times. They used to be a thriving community with many, many monks, and one after another they died. And no one came fresh to the monastery. And they were down to 5 monks. They said, well, what are we going to do? I don't know. What are we going to do? We're a dying order. On the grounds of this monastery, there was a little hermitage where there was a rabbi that would come every now and then to pray. And the monks, because they were so prayerful, they knew when the rabbi was in the woods. They could feel him. And so the abbot said, well, I'm going to go and talk to him the next time he comes. So the rabbi comes, and he's in the hermitage. So the abbot goes down and knocks on the door. And the rabbi invites him in. Abbot tells him that they're worried about their order because they're all old, and there's no young people coming. And the rabbi commiserates with him. He says, oh, I know. It's sort of the same, in my temple, and I don't know what to do. I just pray. I just do my work, and I know that you do too. And so they had tea together, and then the abbot left and thanked the rabbi, and they bowed, and the abbot went off down the trail, and the rabbi said, well, just one thing. I don't know what this means. I just want you to know that one of you is the Messiah. So the abbot goes back, and the other monks say, well, what did he say? What did he say? And the abbot said, well, mostly we just talked about our similar circumstances, but he did say something really strange when I was leaving. He said, one of us is the Messiah. And they all looked at him like, what? And then they all, of course, started thinking about this. And they actually thought, well, what if it's true? What if it could be true? And so they began to treat each other with uncommon kindness on the off chance that one of them was the Messiah. And what they did, they tuned their vibration to absolute kindness and joy because one of them could be the Messiah. And what happened was the whole atmosphere of where the monks were, the hermitage, and around the grounds, it shifted, the monastery. It shifted in its energy. And all of a sudden, there were families that started coming and having picnics in the woods. And more families came and had picnics in the woods. And finally, one young man went up to one of the monks and said, I'm called to your order. And so they were welcomed into the order, and then more and more young men came, and before you knew it, it was a thriving order again because of the shift in vibration. And so for us today, the Easter message is really about the second coming, and the second coming being all of us as we elevate our vibration and bring heaven on earth. And that's what you take home and contemplate. Thank you. And so for the inner work, I want you to just look at this sunrise and the vibrational aspect of that light. And you can even do this inner work with your eyes open if you want to, just focusing on that sunrise. And feeling, if you would, how that vibrational energy moves through the form of the clouds to create beauty. Just like your vibrational essence moves through the form of your life to create beauty. This is a peaceful scene, a vibrant scene. This is the same that happens in your life. You're vibrating peace and love to everyone around you. Back to the Shem, and having the Shem radiate through you. God in you, bringing heaven to earth. Blessed be.
Summer brings fall, winter then spring, and at my end, there you begin. Leaves turn to gold, fall to the ground, new seeds will grow, and so it goes around through every season. One truth remains: you will always be the one to hold me. You will always hide me in your heart. You will always open up your arms and carry me high on your wings of peace. Love of my soul, I thirst for you. Spirit within, faithful and true. My changing heart, adrift on the wind, lost and alone. You find me again and again through every season.
Suzanne Baldwin. Stephen Meese on the keys. Robin Zickel on the drums. Rick Walt on the bass. Joe Munch on guitar. Suzanne Baldwin. Thank you.
Would the ushers please come forward? Now is your time to give into whatever served you this morning. And there's a lot more to come as well. Just know that you can't outgive God. And that as we give with that generosity of spirit, that it all comes back. So if you would just look up here to this offering. Can you see it? Am I in the way here? A little bit. And say this with me. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. So put your blessing on your gift this morning, and would the ushers please receive those gifts.
I belong to the morning. I belong to the dawn. I belong to the morning. I belong to the dawn. My way was dark and my road was long. Will you come, light the path I'm on? The darkness parted with the light of spring. Spirit, I'm yours. To you I sing. I belong to the morning.
I belong to the dawn.
I belong to the morning.
I belong to the dawn.
My way was dark. My way was dark. And the road was long. Will you come, light the path I'm on? The darkness parted with the light of spring. Spirit, I'm yours. You I sing. Yeah, I belong to the morning. I belong to the dawn. I belong to the morning. I belong to the dawn. I belong to the morning. I belong to the dawn. I belong to the morning. I belong to the dawn. I belong to the morning.
I
belong to the dawn.
The dawn.
I belong to the morning.
I belong to the dawn.
Wonderful. So I bless this offering and everyone who gave and all of us who receive, and that's everybody. So what a wonderful day this is. Blessed be. Thank you so much. And just moving into the announcements for a moment, because there's a lot left to do today. We have a sign-up table in the back that is for classes as well as for everything else. So first of all, I'd like to let you know that next week Victoria Castle will be here, and she's doing this wonderful workshop called Trading Struggle for Ease. So if you have any of that, the sign-up sheet is in the back of the room. Next, we have a new program that's called Gourmets for God. This is something that has been tried and true in many, many churches, large and small. And what we do is, you and me, we create small events for each other. And then we sign up and we bid for places at those events. And then we have the events, and it's so fun. So what we're doing this week and next week is that we are signing up hosts. So Scott Murchison, would you stand, please? Scott is in charge of this event, and so he'll be at the back table for a while, but if you see him and want information about Gourmets for God, just grab him anytime this morning. Classes are coming up, and I am teaching Roots starting this Thursday. And so if you want to join that class, you need to sign up today. We do have plenty of people to have the class go, so it's definitely going. But if you've been thinking about it, please sign up today. I'm also teaching No More Anger, Guilt, or Fear, and that's on Wednesday days next month, and that sign-up sheet is in the back. A quick start is happening also on May 18th. We have 2 more classes that are coming up. Posey, would you stand, please? Posey is doing a wonderful class called This Thing Called You, based on my favorite Ernest Holmes book. And Posey is a master teacher, so she'll be in the back for a while, but then grab her also this morning if you want to talk to her about it. And finally, Reverend Mary Shelton, if you would stand, 7 Principles for a Successful Marriage. And this is a class, a 10-week class for committed couples. And you do not have to be married, and same-sex couples, of course, are welcome. And so Reverend Mary has some information about that class if you want to see her at the back, or you can catch her as we eat as well. Finally, the ritual workshop for May 2nd is celebrating Beltane. And if you would like to come and be my student and guest at that, please sign up and give a $20 deposit, because we need to have 20 paid deposits in order to have pay $20 and have 6 people. Oh, thank you for listening so good, Jackie. 6 people, and somehow last week the sign-up sheet disappeared. So if you signed up, your money didn't if you paid, but if you need to sign up again if you signed up last week. And so those are the announcements. You can ask anybody about them, including me, for the ritual class. And now, the end of this service, it has to be kind of orchestrated. So first of all, I would like to ask the practitioners to surround the room, and the ones who will pray with people to come up front. If you have a small child, they're already out there looking for Easter eggs. If you're a parent of a small child, you go out now. So just make your way outside, or leave them there. And then I'd like to thank Bodie, Suzanne, and the band for fabulous music. I'd like to thank Sandra Garabede for this fabulous altar. And Pat Malone for this great Easter bulletin. And somewhere, if you can find them, Joe Hughes is one of the leads for Easter, and Paula Karp is the other one. Please thank her. The food in the kitchen is under the charge of Ann Seymour. And then we have, she's in the kitchen, but give her a big hug. And the baskets are Johnny Van's inspiration. Please bid on all of those great baskets. Thank you, Johnny. That's a wonderful, wonderful baskets full of goodies for you to bid on to take home. And we'll tell you when the bidding is about ready to stop. And then Suzanne Karch, who's running back and forth with the food, is in charge of the Easter bonnets. So we'll have that during lunch. And then thank you to all of you for bringing the food. And so, with that, this is the benediction where I get you back into that holy place and say to you, may the felt sense of the Christed One live in you, vibrate in you, and raise you into heaven's experience. May the highest vibration of love and peace surround you, live in you, and come forth through you. May joy fill your heart, and may spirit guide your way. Blessed be. And now stand, if you would, for our affirmation and closing song. I elevate my vibration in the world. I express love, connection, acceptance, appreciation, beauty, peace, and joy. Yes, heaven is where I live and what I give. Blessed be.